So good afternoon. It's my privilege to stand in front of you, such a college students, and it brings wonderful memories. In fact, my presentation will be also about college, and it's about the degrees, doubts, and decision. Your real journey starts from college. 25 years ago, like few years ago, I actually attended my 25 years college reunion. It was an evening of nostalgia. I met old friends, I met some known faces, I met some acquaintances, and we exchanged laughter and we exchanged jokes. The whole long was full with energy. I found some friends were very jovial, the kind of jovial they used to be in the college. And I found some friends who had become a bit serious. But most of us had a change contours. Some had more face to wash, they have got a little baldish, and some had like little bit bulge to manage. But what really struck me was this. I found out that those guys who were doing good, they came to the alumni meet, they came to the reunion with their families. Their heads were held high and their faces were radiating joy. While those who were not doing well, they actually didn't show up, or even if they showed up, they made some polite excuses, did not spend the whole time, and went away. That was the moment of epiphany. When we graduated, I thought with the degrees and with happiness in our hand, we thought that life will sort itself out magically. We thought the moment I have degree in my hand, jobs will be offered to me, the career will be straight in front of me, I'll get a lot of promotions, I'll get a lot of successes. What people did not tell me, what the real journey begins after your college. You will face, so tomorrow you go after your college. Your journey will also be not as straight that you see the success story in the online. You will face uncertainty. You will face hardship. You will face challenges. You will try to challenge yourself. Am I relevant? I am doing the right thing. And you will doubt yourself. And when you are barely trying to stay afloat, Instagram Reels, like the famous Instagram Reels, will point out that some guys whom you knew, they are making 6 figures in 6 months. They are traveling business class. They are spending holidays by the beaches. They are making exotic homes. And you will start challenging yourself. Am I behind? Am I on the right path? And that is where your red race begins. So I am here to tell you today, how do you navigate your professional life in front of you 20, 25, 30, 40 years with a lot of confidence, a lot of pride. How do you make sure that you come back to this college 25 years from now with a head held high, with a face radiating happiness, and you have a good story to tell? I am going to tell you a framework that I have used, and the framework that will help you to navigate this journey, which will be very difficult, but at the same time interesting and challenging. And this framework that I'm calling is called Pursuit Framework. It has 7 letters. Each letter stands for a principle. And I just saw the coincidence. All the good things start with 7. So this framework that has 7 letters or 7 principles that is going to transform you also has 7 letters. So let's go through each of the principles. The first principle is purpose, right? We know every person is born twice. Once at the birth and once that person finds the purpose. We always know everything that you do, we need to start with why. Because we need to know the purpose behind our action. You can be a good engineer. You can be a good businessman. You can be an actor, YouTuber. But you should know what is the purpose behind taking that decision. And like this is a famous example. So there are 3 stone masons, right, who are building the wall. And when you go and ask the 3 stone masons why they are building the wall, the first guy says, I am building the wall because my boss has told me to do. The second mason told, I am building the wall because I have family to feed. And the third mason, what told? He said, my village needs a hospital and I am hence making the wall. No prize for getting it right. Who was more motivated? Who will get the job? and whose output will be the highest. So once your purpose is beyond you, once you make a purpose, once you make an impact beyond you, that is the time you will grow. That is the time you'll make more money. That is the time you'll get more engaged. Without a purpose, you are like a compass in the sea. You feel like you're moving fast, but you'll not get a shore that feels like home. So that's the first principle, purpose. Let me explain you the next principle, which is you understanding or clarity of your mind. You need to have the right level of clarity to pursue this professional journey in front of you. Close your eyes. Look at your thoughts. Are your thoughts aligned? Like that iron nails which get drawn toward the magnet. Are your thoughts aligned with your purpose? It is okay to skip parties, okay to have the sort, to skip those celebration, as long as that aligned with your purpose. When I passed out 30 years back, when many people chose stability, I chose a career which gave me challenges, and here I am today. In today's life, those distractions will get disguised as opportunities. So what you should do, once you have clarity in your mind, you should say with confidence. When you say no, you will say with confidence. When you say yes, you say with certainty. Clarity doesn't mean you have all the answers. You have all the questions to ask. And the confusion often doesn't come from the lack of clarity. Confusion often comes from the not knowing what is the right thing to do. So let me go to the third principle, which is ritual. R is for ritual. So once you have your why, once you have your clarity defined, you need to take action, right? Without action, nothing happens. So action can be only taken by following some processes, systems, rituals. If you are goal focused, you will not get that action, right? Look at you. When you look at the mirror, do you see a change in your weight? Do you change in anything, right? So when you go to the gym, it is the daily grind. When you do the lifts, when you do the push-ups, when you do the cardio, you get the sweet pains, you get the sweat, you get that happiness. That is the measure of progress. Your results will not happen overnight. Be committed to the process. I have a ritual of reading books. I have a ritual of learning 5 words per day, and that is what has it helped me. And I urge you to fall in love with the process so that you can navigate this big journey. The next principle is S, which is self-respect. Respect yourself, right? We know if you cannot respect yourself, the world is not going to respect you. And the biggest enemy for respect is comparison. When you start comparing others, and thanks to all these reels and social media, it forces you to compare. The higher you grow up in your professional life, the more comparison will happen. The more the media, the more the social network, they will force you to compare. They will say what is good, what is not good for you. So don't get distracted, because comparison is inevitable. But the best comparison you can have is when you compare with yourself. My story, I used to travel 10 kilometers each day to my engineering school, each way. And I saw my friends, driving mopeds, driving cars. I did not have a study space. I did not have a dedicated study space when my friends had a dedicated study space. But that did not stop me from getting, what I wanted, because I understood early on the biggest opportunity is not because you don't have the facility. When you have committed to something, when your intention is clear, you will actually achieve it. We all feel frustrated when we compare. And we know when we compare, we lose energy. Who knows, you are on the chapter 2 and you are trying to compare the chapter 20 of somebody else. So stop this urge to compare, to have a good professional life. Let me take you to the next principle, which is uncompromised excellence. We need to be excellent in what we do, because excellence is not your buzzword. It is like a moat. It prevents you from all this uncertainty. When you are the best at solving problems, people would like to sort out. The timing, I'm not sure. The timing is going up. It's 22. Last 2 minutes. So next one is you. You is the uncompromised excellence. You need to be excellent in what you do, because without excellence, nobody is going to come to you. And next is inquisitive. You need to have an inquisitive mind. Without inquisitive mind, without the ability to learn, you are not going to go anywhere. So a mind which has the ability to learn is a mind that is going to grow. And the last one is tenacity. As you navigate your career, you will face a lot of hardship. Your world will not be as linear as you see online. So what is that keeps you going? It is the tenacity. You need to keep going on. So when the life says no, you should treat no as the next opportunity. I always like this example of Neeraj Chopra, the famous javelin thrower. He won 2 gold medals. He won 2 medals in the Olympic, but it was like, the 90 meter was elusive to him, which he got only recently in May 2025. So be a guy who is excellent, because only when you are excellent, the world will run after you, the jobs will run after you. You don't have to run after jobs. So I'd like to conclude by saying, your degree is not your destiny. It is just an entry ticket. The job that you land is not a forever job. It's okay to change the job, but what matters most is the pursuit of purpose. So I call you today, will you follow the crowd or you follow the calling? Will you follow the likes or you follow the meaning? I have come a long way from a small town and navigated the industry, corporate life 20-30 years, and worked with some of the best companies. I want you to follow these 7 principles and I want you to be a seeker, a builder, a learner, a warrior in pursuit of doing something great. So when you come back to this alumni 25 years from now, your head will be held high and you will have a nice story to share. Because your real journey starts here and it starts after college. Thank you.